We're starting off high.
We can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live at Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise a pack of wolves?
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
Who's this you speak of?
Was that not you?
Is that who I am?
I mean, depends on the day, I guess.
I guess so.
We also got Brooklyn in the house. Good friend, longtime friend of the Fools, Ashley. Joining us live from Brooklyn. How you doing?
Are you
Ashley?
the Brooklyn representative? I don't know if you're a good Brooklyn representative.
Hey now.
She's a good representative of the gentrified Brooklyn. Brooklyn these days.
There we go. The new Brooklyn
New
in the
Brooklyn.
house.
New Brooklyn in the house.
How you been, beautiful?
Doing good. How you guys doing?
I'm doing.
We still here. We still standing. We still strong.
I'm still kicking. What is that, Dave Chappelle?
No, that is Dave Chappelle does do a skit where he references it, but it's Antoine Fisher.
Oh, okay.
Oh man,
I remember that.
How's your week been, Cliff?
It's been all right, I suppose. Busy.
Yeah.
Busy work-wise, but who wants to talk about that?
Nah, I'm done with
Hey,
work.
I'm unemployed, so
Unemployed?
fun employed.
Oh, okay. Well, listen. I wish I could be fun employed, baby. Fuck.
You know what she has? You know
off of my shit.
You know what she has that we don't, Cliff? You know what she has that we don't?
What?
No kids.
I don't know why somebody ain't telling me these little bastards are expensive. Somebody should have told me that.
Oh man.
My daughter got more money than me as we speak.
All I know is I see Ashley traveling all over the place, living a life, and I'm like, why can't I do that? Oh wait, because I have a 7-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice when you can hang out with them all day and then send them home to their parents.
True.
I know that's right. So what's the last place you came from? Where?
I was.
What fun employment activities have you been into lately?
Well, I traveled for 2 months. I went to Spain, Portugal, and Belgium.
Belgium, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I don't eat waffles and I don't drink beer, but it's really pretty there.
Maybe what about the chocolate?
It was okay.
It was
okay.
okay.
You weren't.
I wasn't that impressed, but
Okay.
I loved Spain. I loved it and loved Portugal.
That's what's up.
Home. So,
So, well, weren't you supposed to be moving from there?
From where? New York?
Uh-huh.
She ain't ever leaving New York.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Stunner.
Once you're here, it's hard. I mean, how many years has it been now? 17-ish?
You listen.
Dang.
She came back for a hot minute. Came back for a hot minute and then went right back.
That was like a blip. It was a blip. Even my fur kid was like, what? He's from Bed-Stuy. Do or die. And he's like, what is this Ohio stuff?
Meanwhile, in this Ohio home, it's an old 1900s house. And I'm sitting on the couch the other night just watching TV. And the dog and the cat are going at it. And I'm like, they always do this shit. But usually if I yell at them once, like they'll split up and they'll go to their separate corners. They would not stop. And because it has gotten cold in an older home, absolutely. They were fucking batting a mouse across the fucking dining room. I finally saw like this little thing skitter. And then Kylo jumped on it and smacked the shit out of it. And then Lipka pounced on it with her claws, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
At least they got that motherfucker.
They did. Lipka's still a killer. 12 years later, but
I've been in my house like Elmer Fudd with the BB gun. Like I know you little motherfuckers are around here somewhere.
I do want to take a quick pause and just give a shout out to my mom. She lost. Speaking of animals, she lost her long time running partner, Willow.
Oh, that's salty.
Yeah, so very sad. Sent her kind of a memorial stone for her garden for that, but
yeah, it's very salty. I'm sorry about that.
Very sad to hear about that. So, Mom, we love you. Just want to give you a quick shout. Oh, all right. Moving on. So, Cliff, you got any inadvertent thoughts to get us going tonight?
I don't know. I don't know if I have anything to bring us out that damper you just attempted to put us in.
I had to give a shout out to my mom. I had to let her know her I'm now her favorite child again. So that's nice. Like the dog was definitely ahead of me and Maddie. So I think I'm back to the number one spot.
Okay, I can't.
Cliff's like, no. Cliff's like, no, I don't know if you are.
No, I can't. I had an invert, but then I can't. It wouldn't be the right time to do it after the death of.
All right. Well, I'll get us going. Baby. I'll get us going with one then. So, trying to do something fun with A-Reg. Picked him up after school today. We headed to Galaxy Con, which is like a Columbus version of Comic Con.
What's the name of there?
Was who?
What's his name? Silent Bob.
He is there tomorrow, and I've actually got tickets to his panel in the evening, so I'm gonna go check that up. He wasn't there yet. A couple of the cast from Star Trek was there, and Cliff, you'll appreciate this, I think.
Geordie LaForge.
He was not. So it was Gates McFadden, who's Dr. Crusher, Q. Oh, Jonathan Frakes was there, which that's cool because he's still kind of a big deal. He still is a director and all that.
You know, you speaking Spanish to me,
Commander Riker, and then
I still don't know who that is.
Oh, killing me!
And
then part of your show where I have no idea what's happening, and I'm like, I hope I don't have a judgy bitch face right now.
It's all right. I'm probably.
Anyways,
bitch face myself.
The ones that I wanted to go talk to because there was nobody around them, and I thought Andrew might be interested in at least like going and seeing them. The Steiner brothers were there. Farouk from the APA was there, and Lex Luger was there. These are 90s wrestlers. Brothers? Scott Steiner, Rick Steiner, Big Papa Pump. Big Papa Pump's got your hook up. Holla if you hear me.
Now, Lex Luger, I know him. I watched a little bit when he was around. I just wouldn't know his face.
All three of them were ex-NWO, so they were all members of the NWO at one point with Hogan and Nash and Hall, but nope, didn't even get to talk to them. There were a couple of voice actors there. A-Reg ended up scoring a sword and a shield from Zelda, like life size. I think they're foam or resin something. So he was excited. And then the other thing that he was super excited about was there was tons of fucking Pokemon cards. Now, here's my question. How is Pokemon the thing that has survived from the 90s? What about Pokemon?
I had this conversation this week. Pokemon, Tamagotchis are back.
Are they?
I saw one at the store this week.
How are Tamagotchis back? Like, I would figure that would just be an app on your phone at this point, not like a keychain or a device that it was.
The corner store down the street from my house sells Dunkaroos there.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, and I thought that was weird.
Around?
Like just individual Dunkaroo packs. Like, like they selling Lucy snacks and shit.
That's one of those, you in the hood when.
Man, Dunkaroos stacked in a row on the shelf. Okay.
I mean, what else has made it out the 90s that never should have? Pokemon feels like one of those things.
Well, that Pokemon Go that came out that you could play on your cell phone, like people are still playing.
Are they really? Wow.
Yeah, I have heard some things, but I think I think there were a lot of people that didn't really care about Pokemon that got involved in that.
Well, and I think too it hit at the right time, right? Like, didn't that get big like during COVID? Like, gave people a reason to get out of the house and go walk around.
I would say
or maybe
it was
right before
a
COVID.
little bit before that. And by a little bit, I mean at least 6 months.
Okay, so it was the summer before.
It was some time to get hot before it. Yeah.
Yeah. We used it at school to like motivate the kids who were getting ready for like, New York State testing is a really big deal. So their whole theme was Pokemon. So they'd like go out around the block. They would like earn going out around the block to like catch their Pokemon. I had no idea what was happening, but I was like, no one's getting hurt. It's all good. Y'all.
Not one kid snatched in the process.
Good.
They like go around there and go get Pokemons, and next thing you know, Pikachu's right by that white fucking van. And you're gonna risk it. You're gonna risk it for
Predators had Pokemon Go on their phone too, so
right. They like let's post up by this Pikachu right here, but we ain't gonna get it. We gonna wait for we gonna wait for the kids to earn their time out.
Oh Lord. The things I pray about, like, please don't let me end up on the 5 o'clock news for something I'll do wrong.
Listen. That's a big thing right there. You're in a big role.
Was.
Now right. Right.
Yeah,
as long as the funds involved.
Unemployed by choice. Woo! Life is so good.
Man, I'm not mad at you. I'm happy for you.
Although I may need to find a sugar mama or sugar daddy soon. So, keep me in mind if y'all come across.
Ain't no sugar around me. Now, if you want a Salt Bay, hit me up. Yeah. I don't know though. I don't know what the Transformers did. Clearly, very clearly. They made it out.
But Transformers, like, here's the thing. Pokemon made it out, and Pokemon still look like Pokemon. Like, they're still anime. Right. They're still, like, cheap-ass animation, all that. The trading cards, like, I get mechanics, and I get that trading card games are popular. But, honestly, like, the fact that he wanted to spend the majority of our 90 minutes there, like, staring at Pokemon cards, I'm like, bruh, come on, man.
I mean, is he into it, though? Like, is that his thing?
Well, it's popular at school right now.
Right,
so they're all trading cards and doing shit like that, and it's something that seems to come back like every 6 months or so. And usually, what ends up happening is there usually ends up being some drama at school about kids either getting cards lost or stolen, and then they'll ban them for the year, and then they'll rescind the rule the next year, and they're right fucking back to it. But my point in all of it was that there was much cooler shit there. Like, I was about ready to buy like a replica.
I bet you were.
Oh yeah, no, I was ready to buy a replica Master Sword, and then Underhill, which is the Aragon sword from Lord of the Rings. Like, I was ready to drop.
What's it look like? I don't know what.
It looks just like a standard Claymore sword. So it's got the broad kind of wingtips, and it doesn't look like anything special, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, I just kind of want a sword hanging up at the house. So I'm going back tomorrow, and I might have a fucking sword tomorrow next week.
Oh man!
Is Columbus so it's like Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
This is clearly out of my wheelhouse. I speak Spanish, so it doesn't sound like that. More like Korean or Mandarin or something.
Listen.
Is it like appropriate for children? Because the New York one is like more than a little questionable.
Well,
like a fur baby festival.
Here's the deal. Like, there were tons of people in costumes. I only saw
a furry convention.
I only saw like 2 or 3 where maybe it was questionable for a quote unquote family audience. But even those weren't bad. Now, tomorrow is like the main day. That might be there might be more kind of in that risque category tomorrow. But today was the first day. No, he's not going tomorrow. We just went tonight.
But this is GalaxyCon
is what it's called, yeah.
So
they used to do one in Columbus called WizardCon, but I mean they're all the same shit. Like it's all
like they might also have like a fetish con. Like they all like it.
Oh, the furry convention is in Pittsburgh, and it's the same day as the Pirates opening day every fucking year. Having worked in downtown Pittsburgh.
What's the furry convention?
I think it's actually called Anthrocon.
What?
Do you know well, anthropomorphic convention.
Oh, is that the proper term for
I mean,
I like to fuck in a costume?
I mean, it's the proper term for like an animal that is made to be human. And it's more of a literary thing is typically where that originates from, but Ashley, are you asking what a furry is or just where the furry convention is?
I mean, I don't know actually how much I want to know. I don't know if I want to know how much you know.
I mean, Cliff,
what do they call it?
Cliff did hit the nail on the head. It's basically people that like to dress in fuzzy costumes or in animal costumes to have sex. Like, that's the gist of what being a furry is.
What's it called where animals... they all like roll around together?
Oh, I have no idea. I
can't remember what it's called, but you know what I'm talking about, like where it's like a group of them that roll around together, and they call it something though. And
I don't know. I know is like when a poly group gets together and they all cuddle. That's just called a cuddle puddle. Like I'm aware of that term.
See, I always am like you know, you play like puppies, like everybody, like, you know, you can all just like lay in the bed and cuddle. Now, oh my God, now it goes like south. But like, I'll always joke with my mom's like, oh, we're all gonna like watch a movie, and everybody, it's like, oh, we're playing puppies, you know, like.
Yeah, I can see that.
All right, just don't do it in Pittsburgh.
There is I think it's
on
like
the Pirates open tonight.
I think the Netflix show is called maybe it's like Being Human or something like that. It's basically a street magician who goes around and does stuff, but like there is an episode where he basically meets with people who I think there's one where they enjoy dressing up as horses and pretend to be horses. And then there's another one
like a 2-man costume.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. There's some interesting kinks out there. No kink shaming here, but
no, not at all. Whatever
you know. Like, in the whole like Comic-Con, like there has to be like a kink. Oh my Lord, cat, crazy cat lady. There has to be like a kink fest of some kind.
Oh, there are definitely multiple ones. Like, but usually what I'll say is they're not as publicized generally, and a lot of that stuff, the big ones all take place in Vegas. The smaller ones, my gut is you would never actually hear about them unless you're active in that community.
Interesting.
I was reading a great book, Bondage Fest in Reno.
What was that, Bondage Fest?
In Reno. I'm sorry. I'm just you asked one too many times about a kink fest and it popped in my mind. I apologize.
Oh Lord. Well, you know, I read a book written by a Ghanaian author. I finished it about a couple of
Ghanaian, what's that?
From Ghana.
A Ghanaian?
Yeah, Ghanaian.
Okay, I've never heard it like that.
Yeah, it was called The Sex Lives of African Women. And it was really interesting because, you know, in a country that Ghana in particular, like having been there for 6 months, it's pretty buttoned up, right? And all the like, do you talk about it or do you not? And she went around, it's a collection of women's stories that are all part of the African diaspora. And they talk about it all, like gender fluidity, you know, LGBTQ, like everything, BDSM, reading these women's stories. I'm like, oh, like I read it quick and then it was Thanksgiving and I was going to my family's and I'm like, do I feel comfortable reading this? Like, what are you reading? Well, actually, I'm reading The Sex Lives of African Women. My sister's like, My dad's like, let me just eat my Cheerios.
Listen,
spot on.
Sip his tea. Because if them his thoughts. I can't repeat that.
My
but I know
favorite
if I was your father.
If you were my father, what? Now I want to know.
No. No. Nah. But I'm
Who's the more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him?
I guess I would just be feeling like, why African American enough? Like,
well, if anyone has a book recommendation, I'll read it too.
Oh man. I swear nobody makes me laugh like me.
I no doubt about that.
I swear that's the case.
All right.
Where were we?
Have we put enough space in? Are you ready for your inadvertent thought now? No.
I think I'll save that one for another day. And it's ironic too, because I kind of had it in the chamber clearly before you brought up the bad news. It almost would have been better if I said it before
you went first
and just played dumb, like, oh, that's fucked up. How did I do that this night?
Oh, so you could have made me the evil white guy per usual. All right.
Well,
way to ruin it for everybody, Mike.
Listen, stereotypes.
I told you, lived long enough to become the villain, and I'm all right with it.
Stereotypes. Maybe you have yours, I have mine.
Excellent.
But I did hear something.
Oh, what'd you hear?
It's not an inadvertent at all, but I thought it was very interesting. I can't remember. I think they were talking about it on some podcast, but it was on the YouTube's clip, so I don't have any idea what the name of the podcast was, and it didn't seem like anything I would really watch. But they were talking about dragons.
Okay, I'm in.
Right?
Fucking dragons. Let's go.
They were talking about dragons, and they were, the same conversation that everybody always has on the internet, how different cultures can have, depictions of the same image. And if they did, how couldn't it exist? And one of the dudes was like, well, at least his theory, I don't know if it was his theory or someone else's that he was bringing to the show, but he was saying, like, in order for birds to fly, they have to have hollow bones.
Yep.
So for something as big as a dragon, they would have to have hollow bones as well, which would mean you would never have fossils of the dragon to be able to prove its existence. And I thought, like, that makes a lot of sense. And I never really thought of it like that. I don't even know if I really 100% knew a bird's bones were hollow.
But I feel like we do have fossilized birds.
That was what I was thinking, but we have fossils of birds, no?
Yeah, we do. Like Archaeopteryx was one of the first bird species, and we definitely have fossils of it. So,
really?
Yeah. So especially something that big, like there would have to be fossils. Now, my philosophy, my thoughts on dragons and the mythos behind them is, yeah, they were absolutely fucking here. No. It was dinosaur. They found dinosaur fossils, skeletons, and they built a mythology around them. That's why
But I
they
mean,
have.
even when you think like, but I'm saying though, like even when you think of like a pterodactyl, right? That I would imagine would have still been able to survive in some places.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But
Like
if
even
they're
after the ice age and all that, I would imagine in certain places they would still be able to make it. I don't know what they would eat,
right. Well, and
but
honestly, that's as much about it as the fact that ice age and cold-blooded animals, like they're not going to be able to survive in cold temperatures.
right.
But it's just as likely that their food sources died as well.
Right, and that's but what I was getting at was you look at a pterodactyl and there's no way that you could confuse it with a dragon.
No, I agree with that.
You're not like I'm saying the depictions that they make of the dragons, the big, bold, rounded faces, you
Yeah.
know, like you're not going to confuse the two. So it's almost like where did that come? Where could that have come from? For us, like you said, not to have any evidence of it.
I mean, here's another thought for you is that similar to sharks, like we know Megalodon was roughly the same kind of build, shape, etc. as a great white, but 10 times bigger.
Right.
However, it evolved to be smaller. Is it possible that there were bigger reptiles? And it depends too on like which kind of dragon you're talking about. If you're talking about Eastern philosophy dragons, no wings.
Yeah.
They're very snake-like. They've got tiny feet. Like that could easily be another reptile that maybe at some point was larger in the past versus what it is today. Similarly, like the ones with wings are probably a little more interesting from really more Western mythology and those kind of things. But that's where I go like the dinosaur route. And the fact that we've come to say that, dinosaurs are the ancestors of birds. Maybe there were some that had more wings, but the wings don't fossilize as well, and so you don't see those on like the dinosaur fossils. I don't know.
But at the same time, don't you think if a bird would have to have hollow bones to fly, if you were going to have something that much bigger to scale, its bones would have to be like more hollow. You know what I mean?
I hear
like,
what you're saying.
And then that would explain how they say that knights would fight them, right? Because yeah, you may be dangerous, but we know that a sword to go through your femur real fucking quick.
It's true.
So I'm sure if that was the case, like that's your Achilles heel. Like, yeah, you are good from the sky, but if you land and let a knight swing at you, if Sir Arthur comes running up, you might want to take flight again.
Actually, that spins off to another inadvertent thought for me. You talking about Sir Arthur. I'm tired of hearing this myth that chivalry is dead. And what I dislike about it is how chivalry gets portrayed. Chivalry, back in Arthurian times, Lancelot was going after Maid Marian. Lancelot was going after married women. Like, just because he was willing to, open doors, pull out chairs, all that kind of stuff, he was still going after something that wasn't his. So I think that this whole misconception about chivalry is people don't understand what chivalry actually was.
So by that, I guess by that, what would you?
No, I'm using this to prop myself up. Very chivalrous. But that's
I
Mr.
like
Steal Your Girl too. So
I like to think I am, but at the same time, I feel like roles have reversed. So I'm like, hold the door for me. Shit, right? Like hold the door for me. Ain't that chivalry, right? Like you try
Oh Lord.
You know what I'm saying? Like, do that. Hold it for me. Let me walk through a door without holding it for three people nodding it on their way through like I'm a fucking hotel boy.
And it's so weird because it's definitely not, you go to the store in Brooklyn and it's like everybody just goes through the door.
Right.
And every once in a while there's somebody who, you're walking into a store and they hold it open for the person that they're with, and then like 7 more people go in front of them, and you're like, see, that's why people don't hold open doors. Like, no, we're not about that. But I mean, yeah, also people don't come and like pick you up in their car to go on a date, like those kinds of things. But yeah, like
I feel like that's a safety thing.
Pull out the chair. It's nice, but like at a certain point, like I can pull out my own chair and like if there are 2 doors. What do you do? Like if I opened up the first door and you went ahead, like you would get the second door for me, right?
Right.
But like if there are 2 doors, if you open the outside one, am I gonna walk through and then stand there and wait? Like, are you gonna get the second door?
No, you walk through.
I do that with my mom and them. Like I open the first door and then I hold one with my arm for whoever's coming.
Bingo. That's it. That's right. You do the full stretch. You got to keep the door open with your left foot while you're opening the next door.
I'm not doing all that. Now that's welcoming. Now that's saying, come on, everybody else, come get this foot that I got held out here. Fuck y'all. You ain't about to flip me no quarter. Give me no change. The fuck? Nah, I'm good. Like, nah. But for what you said, for people I get it, right? But nowadays, you'll hold the door for a motherfucker and they'll get offended.
Right.
Offended?
Yeah, like I've had that before. Like they're like, I can open my own door. Like, okay, then bitch, open your own door. Shit, I was just trying to be nice.
Wow.
But shit, just in New York, didn't the dude shoot the woman for holding the door and didn't say thank you or something?
I mean, it sounds.
I know that rage. I do know that
rage.
I know the rage of holding a door for a motherfucker and they walk through and like don't say thank you, and you just wish you could hit the rewind button and shut it right as they walked up. Like neither of us getting in here today. Right. How about that?
In your face.
You wasn't going to say thank you, but unfortunately, your life was lost. I don't know the situation, but I saw it. And I believe it happened in New York.
Wow. No, yeah, I feel like even today, when I was out, like every once in a while, like you do the extra put, because the extra push. So like,
right, just the
tap,
in your face. It's
right.
Like, okay, you got it. But
it's the open door alley-oop where it's like you're not gonna get a walkthrough, but I'm pushing it so you can grab the handle a little easier.
Or maybe you can grab the top.
Right.
Touching my handle. And it's like you do everything to try not to touch the door.
But see, that's why COVID's running rampant, because motherfuckers is trying to avoid germs. You need germs. You need them to survive. If you don't have germs, if you don't come in contact with new germs, your body doesn't build up immunities.
Well,
so everybody trying to be all
so here's
antibacterial. You're killing your own bacteria that fights off that shit. Like you're being too clean.
The predictions, and I wonder if that's tied to the predictions. The predictions are 2030. We're gonna get hit with another global pandemic. Because that's just how viruses like this work. Yeah, so they adapt and whatever, and there'll be another super strain 10 years from now. But what's interesting is, to your point, and I think I commented on this with my cousins the other day because they're both school teachers. And one, you have a group of kids that weren't exposed to a bunch of shit for 2.5 years because schools were virtual, and that's where they get all their germs anyways.
Right.
But two, this generation is also super diligent and or at least more diligent about like general hygiene, like washing their hands and all that. And all that's going to do is create another fucking super bug that's going to be able to wipe people out because they're not going to have the immune systems to handle it.
I mean, I think a lot of that is true.
I mean, I'd like to hope these kids are better about cleaning their hands, but having been around hundreds of them every day and they're all touching all the things. Yeah. I don't know how true that is.
Fair. All right.
But
I wash my hands when I'm by myself. You know what I mean? Like, you know how people be like, well, I'm not going nowhere. I'm not, I'm gonna piss and get back into bed. Nah, I'll run that water, even though I know it's gonna wake me up a bit. But
well, good for you, Cliff.
I just don't like that, right? Because it's like, it's too many handshakes, it's too many daps and hugs that I don't know what it is you did with your hands last before you just shook mine. Right, you feel what I'm saying? I don't need you rubbing one out and then coming and dapping me up. And then the next thing I know, I gotta use antibacterial and kill my natural bacteria that's on my hands fighting for me. Because you over there growing hair on yours. That's just crazy to me.
It's crazy.
Listen. But dragons, huh?
Dragons.
I'm just But that's what the book predicted.
Yeah.
Can't remember who the author was, but they said that the virus was going to happen, and they said 10 years later it's going to come back and it's going to be 5 times stronger than it was before, but it's going to end 5 times faster than it did before as well.
Mm-hmm. So the real question, to be booed up or single in 10 years?
Well, I mean, at that point, you better be sure about whoever you're with 10 years from now.
Listen, a lot of partners got killed during COVID. I'm just saying, I don't think that we have the reports accurate on all of them, but just the ones we knew, it seemed pretty plentiful to me. You know what I'm saying? South
Park did this perfectly, and that show has fallen off big over the last 3 or 4 years, but their COVID special was spot on. And what they did was, so they had an episode that was all about COVID and the lockdown and all that, and then the kids go back to school. But in the school, they have no teachers because all the teachers have resigned. And so what they have is they have police officers who have quit the force because of all the protests against police, now acting as teachers. Well, at some point, police officer shoots token, and they count it as a COVID-related shooting. You remember that stretch where like everything was a COVID-related illness, any hospitalization?
That motherfucking 3 months straight. They like, God damn, we ain't hit a bonus in this facility in years, and here comes COVID to help out y'all's fucking funds. What? This motherfucker's arm is missing, but he got a cough.
Must be COVID-related.
Weird ass shit. And them motherfuckers was going crazy over toilet paper and shit. Like, toilet paper, of all things, toilet paper. You locked in your house. We know you on lockdown. And you can't hop your happy ass in the shower after you take a shit. You ain't got nothing else to do. You have nowhere to go.
But that's where, like, why didn't we see an increase in, like, bidet sales or something? Because
you did though. You did. Hello Tushy became one of the fastest rising companies in the U.S. during COVID.
And I mean, have y'all experienced one?
Oh yeah, they're phenomenal.
I don't trust them. I was over Thanksgiving and my mom just got a bidet and she was like, "Try it. I'm telling you, try it. I know you don't got a shit. You don't got to use the bathroom. Go and try it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to try it. I'm not going to try it.
Try it.
I agree. I'm on the Hello Tushy train.
I'm not against cleaning my ass, but I'm just saying, like, it can't be sanitary. Like, you talk about how you flush a toilet and all the bacteria from the toilet bowl comes up and releases molecules into your bathroom if you don't have your toilet bowl closed. So you mean to tell me when people are shitting and all that shit's happening, you're flushing toilets, that it's not kicking shit back up into the bidet? And
Can you say that louder for all the men who don't put down the toilet seat?
Oh, I still don't. I'm sure.
Because you know you have facial hair. Have you seen the studies on what lives in men's facial hair?
Oh, I wash my shit daily.
Well,
I wash my beard like I wash my face.
But
if I'm washing my face,
close the toilet lid, those molecules are like.
Well, they'll get washed out tomorrow.
And I ain't going to bed with that tonight. Y'all got to close the.
Listen, well, I'll take a shower tonight. Do I need to take evening showers now? Do I have to change my routine?
Yeah,
either way,
get dirty in this house.
Because either way, when you piss, right, you're kicking shit up anyway, right?
I don't know. I think
that's how most of the piss gets on the toilet seat. Now that's a misconception as well.
Yeah, you all think we pee on the toilet seat.
On the toilet seat.
It's the splash.
It's the
splash
effect. It's the splashback. Now I'm not saying that you shouldn't lift the toilet seat, but let's be honest. That's kind of ignorant to say, but it's the truth, though. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not picking up a lot of toilet seats just because I don't want to put my fingers under there and then touch my shit when I'm using the bathroom.
Makes sense.
So I try to aim well.
A little paper for that though, like you know.
Toilet paper ain't silicone. That ain't stopping 99.9% of, you feel what I'm saying? I'm not touching that. And you know how quick you can stick a finger through a piece of toilet paper. And let's be honest, you know what I'm saying?
Depends on what you buy.
Well, when the COVID went up, all that was available was one ply.
Single ply.
You didn't even have the dotted lines on your shit. You just ripped it.
If you
and
buy
wherever
single
it came
ply,
off,
it's not gonna work. You know,
Single ply is.
I actually prefer single ply ever since all the bullshit because
get out of here. You're gross.
Man, you get that. Yeah, you get that shit, and you get dingleberries in your shit because it's peeling off in your ass. Because you got so much cotton in your toilet paper.
Yeah, and it's not so great for the plumbing. But listen, you want a quality lady, you need quality toilet paper. And I do think it's American. We have so much, right? But if
you better wrap a couple wraps and wet it.
Who do you think washes their ass after they go to the toilet? I'm sorry, all my brown and black friends, everybody who's from somewhere else in the world, they all keep these cute. My Indian friends have these pots. They're gorgeous metal pots, and they're in all of their bathrooms. It's like, duh, that's because, you gotta wash a little bit. All of my friends have something like that in their bathroom. White people, we might have some Cottonelle or, those
hey, dudes.
Flushable wipes.
Dude wipes.
But come on now.
I also have a Hello
the most
Tushy.
Advanced countries in the world, and we don't, I don't know.
Listen,
well, I'm just waiting for the 3 seashells from Demolition Man.
I don't know. What's that?
What is it?
They never actually explain it. That's the funny part.
Oh,
They're
wait.
just like, you don't know how to use the 3 seashells? He doesn't know how to use the 3 seashells. It's like a running joke through the whole movie. And you guys haven't seen Demolition Man, so...
No, I know it. That's Sylvester Stallone and Wesley Snipes,
Wesley,
right?
That's right.
Yeah, but I don't know. I can't remember.
You can't remember the 3 seashells?
I don't.
That's why he starts, because there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. There's just these 3 seashells on the wall.
Oh, I do remember that.
And so he ends up going and just swearing so that it spits out, tickets at him. He's like, there's no toilet paper.
Right.
He goes back.
Yeah, I remember that. But I'm saying, though, you get some thick-ass 2-ply cottonelle, and the next thing you know, you got to wipe your ass like you fell in the mulch back in the playground. Because it's you're getting...
to you, dude.
I'm saying you crazy as fuck if you think shit ain't rolling off from that thick-ass toilet paper. I don't like it. I need my toilet paper.
Fools do not agree.
More papery than cottony.
All that does is rub your ass
the right before everything shut down. So I would say Christmas time, right before everything shut down. We were all down at my sister's house. I think we probably all had a bottle of wine individually. My sister and her husband went to bed. It was just my stepmom, stepbrother, and I, and we ended up toilet papering the downstairs. We toilet papered the Christmas tree to the lamps above the table, and we put the tube of the toilet paper on top of the tree. It was in the ceiling fan everywhere. And now there's a sign hanging in the bathroom that's it's all fun and games until you run out of toilet paper. And it's
listen.
Remember when we wasted it?
Because y'all crazy as hell. I'd have said, funny joke. Now roll that shit back up and put it back under the sink in my bathroom, please. Thank you.
There's about to be a little basket of unrolled.
Right. Yep. Use that. That's fine. It's clean.
There was a point where the cats got into it and unrolled a whole roll, and we rolled that shit back up during COVID.
Listen, you got me fucked up. This shit about to get used. Let me find out. I'm damn near want to use the roll. Like, oh, toilet paper gone. Wipe
I
my
mean,
hands
that's
with
no
the roll
different
real
than
quick.
using fucking single ply.
Let me use this brown shit here because I ain't letting the piece go to waste.
Beautiful.
Oh shit, COVID.
You're about to
The
try your
motherfuckers
mama's
found out they
bidet.
had. What was you saying?
You're about to try your mama's bidet. And
I'm
report
not.
back. I think it
I don't
will
trust
It'll
it.
change your
revolutionize
life.
life.
Change your life.
Can't be sanitary. Can't be. Can't
Why?
be sanitary.
Why not?
Can't be sanitary. There's no way.
It's
that's
actually
sanitary.
no different than getting in the shower.
Nah, because my shower is not positioned in the same place people piss and shit. In
Well,
order for the bidet to spray
Hey, Cliff,
your
Cliff, I hate
asshole,
to break it to you. I've
the
known you
shit
long
has to
enough.
pass it.
You're not just pissing in a bathroom. Like, I'm sure you've pissed in that shower.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I have as well. I'm sure I have.
If someone can't admit they've peed in the
But
shower,
I'm saying
they're
though,
not your girlfriend.
right? But I'm saying though, I'm pissing down the drain. The shower head's up here. A bidet, shit and piss is passing that bidet on the way to the toilet. Not to mention, we just talked about splashback, correct? Man, stop. I'm not sitting my ass down on your toilet, spraying my insides. Fuck y'all. And fuck you, Ma, for trying to make me. I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I think you need to listen to your mother. That's all.
I
I'm
love you,
saying.
Ma.
Splash.
Nah, I'm good.
All right, I'm gonna hit the chat real quick. We got Malcolm chiming in with the Dunkaroos. He's with you there. The Reets chimed in with Ninja Turtles on the things that made it through the 90s and maybe shouldn't have.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Why? How could I name Transformers and not Ninja Turtles?
I mean, I hear you. She did chime in and said she wanted to hear your inadvertent thought. Malcolm talking about chivalry. We're not gonna go back to those. The Reets saying send the kids out to eat dirt to get them their germs.
Right, right. Go lick that sliding board.
And then King Dread chiming in with, I'm not touching nobody's
Oh, that's my
piss.
cousin. That's Streets.
Said, not touching nobody's piss.
Listen, you hear me?
I bet he has.
Oh, whether you know it or not. Listen,
dabbed somebody up.
Wait a minute. What's that infamous thing that ladies do that everybody's all fascinated with? Listen, you telling me it ain't piss in there? It's piss in there. It's piss in there. I don't care what you say. It's piss involved in that.
Are we talking about
That's all I'm
squirting?
saying.
Is that what we're talking
That's
about?
exactly that. But that's exactly what it was.
It ain't good if the whole bed isn't drenched. Come on, man. All right. What else
I guess
we got?
when we talking about dread, I guess it depends on what drenched it. You know,
Fair.
what was used to drench it. Hopefully, it was an appliance or
An
your lower
appliance?
half, and it wasn't your face. Because
I was like, an appliance?
You know it's good for the beard, right?
Listen, I'm not even going. Now you about to. I was just about to take it there. I was just about to speak confessional talk. I was about to talk
yeah.
about.
This is
I was
the
about
best.
to talk about shit
Nope.
we talked about in barber school, and you can't repeat that. A lot of that in public.
I had an ex that didn't appreciate oral. I've gone back to being able to do that again. And that's about the time the beard growth really came in. So,
But also, okay. So this
Well-
is like welcome to Brooklyn where everyone has a beard and I really don't get it. I have sensitive skin. That's like, hi, would you like a Brillo pat? No, thank you.
No,
I have
you
a
don't
lady.
bury
Oh,
it.
It depends. It depends. It
you're not like,
depends.
"Ah."
Yeah, it depends.
What?
though, too.
It's not?
Not if you know what you're doing.
Well, no, I mean, I'm saying like, some people's shit is very coarse. You know what I mean? And some people's shit it's not as like, it's not as coarse as
What
you
Cliff
think.
and I are saying is we moisturize.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said, I wash my shit every day with my face, and I use lady soap. So
Lady soap.
I was gonna say,
I
you
use
should put oil in there.
that Dub full moisture because I got eczema, so I need my soap to not
Oh,
dry
I
me
like
out.
using like the Viking
No,
beard
but that's
oil.
where like shea butter for everyone. Put some oil in there.
Nah, I would need oil more than shea butter for real. Shea butter, I don't feel like it absorbs right into the hair.
No, I'm with you there.
I need some oil, some kind of right.
It's like Cantu or something that has smells really good.
I like
too.
the oils that smell like the. Actually, it's funny.
Who you been fucking with? They got dreads. I'm just playing.
Well,
she ain't fucking with any white guys.
Never have I ever.
So, going back to the oils, I actually have a set of beard oils that also I have for my diffuser in terms of smells for the office. We've got teak wood and sandalwood and leather.
You got a whole oil cellar. Stop playing.
No, I know. The whole
I ain't been in that basement in a while, but I bet it's some wooden shelves down in them torture rooms.
I was gonna say I heard leather and cellar. I'm like,
listen.
Have you anybody checked out the what is it? The How to Build a Sex Room on Netflix?
It's a show.
Oh yeah, it's a show.
What is it?
It's basically this old woman that goes around building sex rooms for couples.
Interesting.
Okay. Do they vary?
Oh yeah, no, they're not all the same, and she's very good about like talking to the couple, figuring out what they like.
Right, that's what I might be interested in that just for.
I mean, it's entertaining. Like it's
right. That's what I mean. Like trying to. I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see where her head's at.
For that, you got to be able to put it away.
Well, she's also. I mean, she's got to be 60s, 70s, and so hearing her go and talk to like these couples who maybe aren't as open about things, and like she's pressing into questions with them. It's entertaining to watch.
Some guy swings and some have mascot locker rooms.
You're not wrong. And actually, one of my favorite episodes is where she built a sex room for this poly group, this polycule, and I think it was 7 different people, and she made sure that the room had like at least one thing in the room that was for like each person. And so that was a little cool. Like it was interesting.
So if it's not your turn, go play with your toy,
basically,
and watch, and then we'll tag you back in.
And the centerpiece of the whole thing was like this bed that I want. It's like and I think I've seen them on. I've seen
circular California King.
No, but it's similar concept. It was like a 12.
That seems like it'd be really hard to put a sheet on. Just saying, like if it's round, it's hard when it has 4 corners. If it's round, like how are you not stuck in the sheet?
You just get.
I don't know how I'd make that.
Well,
yeah, you are right. That's a good. That's a good point. Like there's no exit there. It's just a.
Like if you're having trouble, you can kind of stretch yourself for
right.
But if it were round, I don't know.
No, I don't know about the round ones.
Like a taco.
This one was like a 12. This was like a 12 by 12 square.
But you never know. You may not ever have to worry about the sheets coming off either.
No sheets. Just use leather, something you wipe it down. I don't know. If it's in a room and it's not where you sleep,
true. Just acrylic.
We're in mixed company.
Wait, what happened?
Someone's being shooed away.
Who? Me? No,
I was saying you just like flip it up. I was going there.
Oh,
I thought you were like, there's a kid. Get out of here.
No. There's I'm up in the attic and I'm actually in a box. Like I can almost touch both walls.
Is my guy's over there?
Yeah, he's out cold.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I mean, I ain't worried. Maybe
he got a game at he's got a game at 2:00 if you're interested on Sunday.
This Sunday?
Yeah.
Where at? Yeah.
Montrose.
Where's that? Right there on Main.
The school we used to walk by. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Ashley knows. Ashley was part of the library walking crew for a while. She used to go to the library.
My nephew's games start on Sunday too.
The
one that was just in the camera before we started. His basketball game starts Sunday, but I don't know if it's this Sunday. But yeah, Let me know. I definitely have to swing up there. You know that's right down the street.
King Dread also saying you got to get him on the show. I don't know if you know this. I mean, I hate to break it to folks. Is that Streets?
Yeah, Jay Streets from back in the day.
Yeah. I got you.
That's my Yeah, we could arrange that.
I mean, we have literally call-in information on.
I was gonna say,
on
can't
the
you
screen,
just call in?
So.
Yeah, I mean, you can pop in if you want to pop in.
I'm always tempted, but I just giggle at home by myself and drink my champagne, and
And see, we'd rather have you call in and make it more entertaining.
All right.
No, but it's the time of year for that where you build an ice skating rink inside. I can teach everyone.
I seem to remember a very particular New Year's Eve party, ice skating on Champagne, where someone's car was on and in front of the house, and then they showed up and they were like, the car's registered to this house, sir.
I'm done with you. Oh man!
Knock. No, the car's registered to this house.
At like 4 a.m. Like what? What's happening?
Yeah, no, nobody cares to see that ever. I wasn't gonna answer it. I'm glad I did. I might have been out of gas by the time the morning came. Oh shit! That is crazy.
That was good. I'm always good for the bubbly. I'll bring enough for everyone.
Listen.
Heck, we could build a real ice skating rink.
We could.
Who got that kind of square footage?
We could build it on Wilson Avenue. We could have a pudding wrestling zone.
I think we're a little too old for that. That might turn into an ambulance call nowadays.
People's bras end up on top of the roof. I don't know. Like shit just gets
wrestling
wild.
turned into an ambulance call nowadays. Boy.
I actually think the adult version would be way better.
You might be right. You may be right, Mike. Get that kiddie pool.
We gotta collect our dollar bills, and then we gotta take a trip to Costco. Do they even sell those big cans of pudding?
I don't know.
Probably
We'll have to figure it out.
How many did we get? We got like
10-gallon tubs of pudding. It was
that was the
something
night I broke your
ridiculous.
mom's table.
You broke the table. You lost your teeth.
I lost it. I woke up on the table, legs spread out flat.
My mom, the Reeds
The
actually
table.
just stepped over him in the morning and went for her run.
Oh, Lord.
And I don't know how much clothes I was wearing, to be honest with you. I really don't.
I just knew we were in trouble because the hot tub turned into like a chocolate bed. Which it sounds
Listen.
very good for your skin.
It took me like a month to clean everything out of the filter, out of everything from that goddamn hot tub. That was a hell of a night, though. Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Listen, we might have to. I'm not against it.
You said we're too old for that. Taking that back, sir?
Well, when have I ever been scared of an ambulance? That's all I'm saying. Fuck it. Fuck it.
No, we are of the age now where what we do is go rent a place down in like fucking Hocking Hills and do it out in the yard there.
Oh, Lord.
Although I'm not sure Cliff is going to trust any ambulance down there.
Hair.
I'm not going to trust what?
I said I'm not sure you could trust an ambulance down in Hocking Hills, but
Listen.
I have a friend who's an RN. I'll bring her.
There you go.
She'll come. She has an ethical duty to watch out for us.
What's she going to do if she get hurt?
No, she's a very conservative Muslim, and I love her, but she'll just bring all
She'll
the
just
medical-
watch. She'll just watch.
She doesn't. She'll be responsible for us. She's been responsible for me many times, and I'm doing okay.
Listen, I don't really care, to be quite honest. I couldn't afford the ambulance anyway. I'd be like,
I don't have any. I don't have any identification on me, so you're not gonna get anything from me. I'm just gonna let you know now.
Listen,
Better get those Sharpies out and start writing some numbers on our tushies, like if lost, call.
That would be. Listen,
if
it's a
found,
night
please
like that
return to.
And that was like before I didn't have, like, we weren't drinking tequila or anything too fun.
shit. Me and Mike's mom and Aaron was playing beer pong, and Aaron poured liquor in all the beers.
This
Okay,
is the
so what made
infinite.
that happen
This is
was-
this is the infamous. My mom turned into a mastodon after a game of beer pong, where she was walking around like
She was
this.
doing this the whole I do remember that. Oh, that was fun. That was
Oh, Lord.
fun.
And her point would be that she wasn't that drunk; she was just being silly. And I'm like,
Oh my God, we could have a whole episode
She was
about
lit,
drunk
too.
mothers because you've been through it with mine.
my favorite drunk mother incident was Ashley and I driving her drunk mom to Kroger with her gay best friend, and then them getting in the carts asking us to push them around.
Oh
That's
yeah.
fun shit, though.
It was.
Oh yeah,
It was fun.
JoJo.
Yep, JoJo. Mhm.
Driving the queens to Kroger. They were in the carts, weren't they?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
they
and
were.
That's
Talking
fun
about
shit.
the dolphin show they were putting on in the pool. Yeah, there was like a swimming pool show involved. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't know her. Nothing has changed.
I believe it.
Except now I think, what did we have on her birthday? It was like peach sangria that had like, wine, peach Crown Royale. I was like, oh my God, I took 4 sips and like, I have to cook. I'm going to be trashed. What the hell did you put in this? I think she's just upgraded.
I like the way you tried to say Crown Royale, like it, like that shit.
What do you call it? I've
$14
never
a
had it in my life.
bottle. It's just
What is
Crown
it?
Royal. It's
Okay,
regular
but
old Royal. Fuck
I
that
never-
E. Royal.
I never had it in my life until that moment.
I bet that motherfucker's $15 a bottle.
I like my bubbly.
Shit, I can't do the Crown.
I like tequila.
Yeah,
That's what I
tequila-
drink in my teacup when I have important meetings, Like, look at that really bougie teacup you have. And I'm like, yeah, I love tea. It's an evening meeting. Who knows what it is?
Oh,
Listen.
Kind of struggle.
all I remember tequila passing around a bottle, I think with Woo, and taking half a fifth to the head, and I cannot be anywhere near the stuff ever since.
I'll give you a whole tasting and change your mind.
I
don't
bet. I bet,
I
though.
can't do tequila. I don't like tequila.
You know,
I'm not a
I
fan.
You gotta
was,
do it right, though.
It is, one of my best friends, she works for the Foreign Service and was living down in Guadalajara, which is right outside of Tequila, like a region in Mexico.
Right.
Talk about like going to Tequila-ria, sip this, sip that. Like I'll make you a margarita and then I have tequila. Like if you put something in this, I will cut you. Like, you're not deserving. Like, are you gonna sip it? Otherwise, nope. You can have the regular stuff.
Right.
But
See,
yeah, like anything else, like I don't drink whiskey or scotch or bourbon. I heard they put hair on your chest. That's what I think. So I stick to my water, smart water, Mexican water. And wine is water, so that also goes in.
It's true.
That's what we need to
Jesus
do.
told
That's
us
like-
that.
Catholic school taught us well.
Sounds like your dad wouldn't be too concerned with the African book because you probably read the Mexican one before.
Hey now.
I'm just
It
saying.
was probably a Latin X1.
Well,
Be
if that's what you want to call it. Well, Mexican is a whole.
One country.
Right, that's a whole. So that's not inclusive. I didn't misgender anyone. I identified your
only one country. No, that's why I need Latino. I need a larger region to choose.
I see where you're at.
Pool to swim in, you
trying to get the Brazil moves and all that.
I don't discriminate.
Listen,
except against white guys. All right.
Well, the discrimination is different than preference.
Fair.
All right.
Okay.
So let's keep that a buck. What was you about to say? White guy?
I got nothing, man.
So you just interrupted.
I felt like I hadn't said something in a minute, and our pictures are on the show.
So I
figured I had to say something.
That was it.
Oh shit.
How about them dragons?
How about them dragons? Do you like dragons?
Man.
That used to be one of Anderson's lines. You like
dragons? Nah, I had Louis Anderson?
Luke, yeah.
Oh, Luke. Oh. I thought you was talking about the late.
No, I was talking about a friend of the show.
Right,
Coach
that's
Luke.
my guy, Luke. How he been?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think he's doing all right. He's posted a lot of pictures of his kids lately. I think we need to rescue him.
He about to be Lucas by the time we get back to him.
No doubt. I did find out. I did find out. Nah, I'll talk about that offline. Sorry. I have a friend in the A-Reg's school community that is in very much the same situation I was a year ago, and we're becoming best friends.
Let me find out you and Cuz about to be night at the Roxbury, bobbing y'all's head in the car together on the way to man.
And he happens to be one of like 3 black families in the school. Shocker. I found the only color at Montrose.
Listen,
oh man.
I'm sure you would. I had something though, but
what you got?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't write nothing down this week. Usually I write, while I'm at work, I write thoughts down and or inadverts or whatever. Didn't write anything down this week, but there was something I wanted to talk about.
Can you recall what it was?
Corey Holcomb. I don't know if y'all are familiar. He was he is a comedian, but started coming up on Comic View.
Okay.
Way back in the day. He has his own podcast. Love his podcast. Love Corey Holcomb, one of my favorite comedians, but he's very edgy. Like the things he talks about is edgy, right? So basically they deplatformed him, or he may have removed himself.
Okay.
Either way, I'm upset about it. Like, he's still on YouTube, but he's not on Apple, iTunes, or Spotify or nothing like that. And that's I don't usually consume podcasts watching them. I usually consume them listening while I'm working or something. So, I was upset when I found it because I typed his name in, and I used to be a subscriber to his podcast. But when I didn't see anything pop up for a while, I typed his name in, and all I saw was him featured on other people's
other people's stuff. Yeah,
and it's because of the things he talks about. But it's truth in everything, and I know Ashley, you would hate him. I know that.
Why?
Factually, you would hate him.
Really? Now I'm like, I want to look him up.
Yeah, you would hate him. He's funny. Now you may not be able to deny he's funny, but he's just old. And I thought about it, right? This might have even been my inadvert, and I didn't even remember. I thought about it all he is a black father or a black grandfather talking to you in your own home. You know what I'm saying? But what he's doing is he's giving you that energy to everybody. So a lot of his things, and he's even said it may not all be true, like accurate to, but it's true to me. It's the things that I've gone through and realized, and it's exactly how you get talked to by your grandfather, by your father, as a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like they cut it to you straight as an arrow. Like, I don't even care about your feelings when I tell you this. This is what it is. And I feel like that's kind of fucked up that we got to the point where we just starting to deplatform people. Like, you can't just not listen.
Right.
Like, everybody's putting a label on things like that's inciting violence or a reason to. What you think that it wasn't way worse shit went on back in the day, and now all of a sudden people are getting, they just don't listen to it. And now the thing is, it's not broadcasted on television to the nations. You have to choose to look at this person. You have to find him in order to listen to him.
What's his name, Cliff?
Corey Holcomb.
Corey Holcomb.
Corey?
Love him to death. Yeah.
Well, it's interesting.
Right away.
It's interesting that you
I'm
say
sure
that.
he would lately, because
like there's something with him. Like, I'd be eager to hear him talking about like Kanye West and Pete Davidson, right? Like,
but listen, I'm saying, I love it.
I know. I'm like, why do you think I won't like him?
You just listen. You may. I'm just saying, from a standpoint of me potentially misgendering by saying Mexican, not saying Latinx. Just that choice of wordage lets me know, okay, that's that you're in the movement, and you have to be.
I love my Mexicans, but
No,
but how many of them like being called Latinx?
We actually have had a lot of debates about that, because it's like, do people like, even what is the news call? It's so fucking hard to be.
Their whole language is masculine and feminine,
right?
So it's
we're like, oh, it has to be Latin History Month because it can't be this and that. There was a superintendent that was just on the news here in New York this week, and there's a cute picture book. It's called like Julian is a Mermaid, and it's about a little black boy who wants to dress like a mermaid and whatever, and parents are outraged, and I'm like, everybody,
Black Ariel has gone too far.
I'm over it. It's a book. Like, I don't care what you do, but like, all the books are okay. Somebody got mad that like, oh, we have a book that's like so-and-so's family is like this and so-and-so's family is like this, and I'm like, yeah, it looks all the ways. Get the fuck over it. It's not like we're like, I don't know.
I understand what you're saying.
To be politically correct. It's so hard. And I think when it comes to humor, right? Like, who is on Netflix? There's some she's like a white comedian, something midlife crisis. The first 10 minutes, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I don't identify with anything in it. I think it's interesting. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's Quarter Life Crisis. It's Taylor Tomlinson.
I don't know who that is.
And I was like,
I thought that was a porn star.
It should be.
Sounds like it. And then there's the baby cobra lady who
Ali Wong. Yep.
Who always talked about her husband who's now getting a divorce, and it's like, it's also, I don't know. I feel like it's interesting, like female comedians.
Well, and it's interesting too, like the one that has been the biggest shift over the last, I'll call it like 3 or 4 years, and I was a big fan of hers, was Eliza Schlesinger. And her last 2 specials, like, she has gone full SJW on all of it, and it's not funny anymore.
What's SJW? What's that?
Social justice warrior.
Oh. I mean,
but
that's
someone like Jim Gaffigan. Do you guys listen to, like, he has a segment on CBS Sunday morning.
Your dad.
All of his jokes, he's like PC. It's like dad jokes, dad bod, dad is fat. He talks about food. It's all very self-deprecating. And I've seen him live. I think he's really funny. You know who is great in person? And he's still like, I mean, he brings politics into it, but I've seen Trevor Noah live a couple of times, and he's hilarious. His opening acts
I've
have
heard
been
good things about him.
Yeah.
so good.
Apparently, that's why he's quitting because his comedy tour is putting
Sold
up
out
bigger,
here.
right?
And he gets to go all around the world. It's like, yeah, get that money. Get it.
I think it was the Brilliant Idiots. They said it was sold out in so many places. He added 11 different more legs to the tour.
Yeah.
believe
And
that.
Crazy.
he like is multilingual. And I think that's the thing. It's like there's a certain level of intelligence is sexy. He's multilingual. So he'll pull out like speaking in different
Well.
languages, telling his jokes. And I'm like, you're pretty to look at. You're funny. You speak a lot of like you can say whatever you want to me, and I'll be like, ha 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 ha, okay.
I'm sure you would, baby.
No, I've seen Trevor Noah live. He's
Good.
solid. He's awesome.
But I'm sure the jokes that like are appropriate that you could tell here are like not the jokes he would come and tell in like I don't know.
But I also
Even
think
though-
that that's the nature of comedy, though. Like, you got to know your audience, and
Right.
it's always interesting hearing comedians when they come to Columbus, because some of it is this is Ohio, so, it's going to be, far right, blah, blah, blah. But Columbus isn't that. And so it's interesting to hear people that, like, tiptoe around certain things that you're like, that's not what I've heard you say in other specials.
But
just
in
doing that 'cause
comedy,
you
like
hear?
in the origin of comedy is finding humor in a tragic situation.
True. It is.
And if we can't talk about tragedy, nobody's gonna be funny.
Right. Well, and I mean that's the issue with cancel culture in general. Right? Like, I don't know. And I was going to tag on kind of an inadvertent to this around. I saw a social media post the other day. I actually think it was Maddie, but put TW at the start of it. And I'm like, what the fuck is TW? Oh, trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
You know what? I'm sorry. Like, that is part of what the fuck is wrong with our society right now.
What
I mean,
exactly?
I do not owe you.
I
I do not owe you a trigger warning for anything. If you don't like it, don't read it.
But see, I guess I think it comes down to a bit of courtesy, right? Because it's like if you tune in, if you subscribe to me daily, like my post daily, and I'm being a certain way, and I feel some kind of way, this post, it may be nice just to warn somebody this isn't the normal post you get from me, but I have something to say. So I don't really see an issue with that. But the issue is having to say that at all.
Right. That's my point.
Yeah, I guess.
I also think like, what is it for, right? So like, this is why I just stay quiet. I'm like, look at this cat video.
Well, you're an ex what principal?
Dinner I made. What?
You're an ex what principal?
Yeah.
So I would imagine you kind of have to.
Everyone stalks you. That I don't have my last name anywhere.
Yeah, I bet not.
Because people find you, right?
Right.
And like, everything you do. And I would be quick to say, like, like I was raised by two moms. Like we dealt with it all. Like why people freak out about the littlest things. And I'm like, just there were kids like 5th grade, gay, right? And parents are like, oh, why did they get chastised for this? And I'm like, listen, we have all kinds of kids and all kinds of families in our community, and we want folks to feel safe here, right? Like we had failed with like 2 moms, and I'm always quick to be like, I was raised with 2 moms, right? Like, yeah. I think there are people make a lot of assumptions, and that's what is it? They make an ass of you and me or whatever, but it's. I don't know. I try to be quiet. I think a trigger, the book that I was reading actually had that, like it had a couple of sentences before it went into the next woman's story, because there was a lot of like, if it's going to be about rape or sexual abuse, right? And so as a woman, if it's like those particular topics, right. I like appreciate that. And so I'm trying to like,
but wouldn't that be in the
like what do I appreciate as a trigger warning? Because like I think that for women, right? But like
Right. No, I
then
agree.
when everything gets a trigger warning, it's like, okay, like
Then it waters down the trigger warning at that point.
I agree. So I didn't look at the whole post, but I did see the TW and I had the same like pause. Trigger warning. But then I was like, oh, I guess that could be a trigger. So I don't know, maybe.
But in reference to a book, wouldn't the trigger warning be the, what do you call it? The synopsis at the end on the back of the book?
Well, like, so the sex lives of African women, it'd be like before it goes into the next woman's story, there would be like 2 or 3 sentences to be like the next person you're meeting, I met from this place, like warning stories of, and you'd be like, right. Because like it went so far as to talk about like female genital mutilation, and it's like, no, the woman telling the story says, I don't use those words. It was sexual abuse. And I was like, whoa, right? Like my mind was with all the shit in there, but like trigger warning, yeah, I appreciate it because like I don't want to courteous on that.
Yeah, something like that's courteous.
Here's where I think my issue comes with it, and this comes back to us growing softer, and it is the fact that to the point that was made, there are certain things where I can agree with it more than others. That being said, the world does not give a fuck about your triggers.
Period.
And if you can't recognize your triggers and then step away from something, that's on fucking you. Like at the end of the day, it is not my responsibility to warn you that what I'm about to say may offend you. It's not.
Right.
Learn how to be a fucking adult and learn how to be a human being where you can either choose to walk away from it. You can speak back to me. But if you speak back to me, know that I will go harder. Like, and that's not to say that, like, generally speaking, if somebody's going to approach me and give me feedback like that, like, I'm willing to listen. I may or may not be willing to change the way that I approached it or the way that I said it. But at the same time, it is not my responsibility to do that for you. You as a human, as somebody that needs to grow and evolve yourself, needs to be able to recognize that and either choose to walk away or not listen or whatever the case is. Or engage with it and understand that it might offend you. Right.
Yeah, I listen, I agree.
It's in a time where we're expected to like make space for everyone and their differences, right? And their experiences and who they are.
Unless their opinion is different from yours, and then we don't give a fuck.
It gets real hard because it's like, what can I say that isn't wrong?
And if you feel like you can't say something, how is that making space for you?
Mm-hmm. Listen, my whole thing is I feel like we're getting real HR-y in life. Like, well, if this person says or does something, I can report it to someone. But it's like, unless they said or did something directly to you, that has nothing to do with you.
Right.
I don't care if somebody said the N-word online. Like, yeah, that's offensive, of course. That has nothing to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get upset about that because listen, motherfuckers is dropping N-bombs the same rate motherfuckers is dying by the second. But if I cried for everyone, I'd be dehydrated. You feel what I'm saying? So you can't, I mean, that's the term of letting it roll off of your back. I'm not worried about that. Now, once you address me specifically, now we're in a different situation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But other than I can't get with all that. Like, and I can't get with all that is all I'm saying. So the fact that motherfuckers is triggered, like that's because you read it and you wanted to get triggered, right?
Go deal with your trauma so that it's not triggering to you anymore.
You wanted to be
triggered. The actual
triggered is not. It's not necessarily like. I think there's also an assumption that like triggers are always bad. I'm like, we all have triggers. Why do we
Right.
always, like, if we're not always like triggers are so bad, it's like we
It's
all have
survival.
the thing that makes me like, right? But like, it's a learning opportunity every time. How did I respond in this moment? Oh, was I whatever it is? And I think that's where people at work will be like, oh my God, when they know me as a person, they're like, and I'm like, yeah, work me and personal me are like like I'm bipolar for real, because at work, I have to be. And by the time I get home, and I'm very a high level empath, and I usually like feel what other people are feeling. But sometimes I get home and I'm like, I have no fucks left to give. Like, I don't
Right.
Zero fucks.
Let me find out. Let me find out Ashley code switching as a white girl. That's what you're explaining. That's exactly what that is, the code switch.
Yeah. And that's where, in the same way, people who,
and I don't mean to say that like that.
No, but you're not wrong.
I agree with you, right? And that's where I 100% do. And you look and I'm like, yes, I am a white cisgender. Like, you could go down that whole path, and it's like,
and then you start speaking Mandarin to me. I don't listen. I just want to respect you. I don't care what you are. I'm trying to respect you.
But it's like everybody's life experience is different. I went to I kid you not, like some leadership training they sent me to, which was expensive as hell. Cheers to this.
You had to pay for it?
No, the work paid for it.
Right, I bet.
But they put you in group by race. And I am like, oh my God, anybody who knows me is like, I am very uncomfortable in a room full of white people. You put me in a room full of white women for days, and it was like,
a group full of white women is uncomfortable for everybody.
Interrupting white supremacy. And I was literally talk about triggers. The first day I was like hyperventilating, I was like, I'm so offended, but I can't go back there tomorrow. I know I'm supposed to, but I can't. And I'm like, it was being mediated by a white man. And I'm like, you can't take just one aspect of a person and put them in a group, because when I tell you, I'm like, wait, you're encouraging them to go and do X, like in a group role play. You called out a Black woman in a meeting on her face. What? Like, I was losing my shit. Because what? Like, angry Black woman stared. There are so many places you could go with that. But it was like a group of, I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm with you.
I know what you're explaining.
The amount of DE&I trainings that I've been to for work, the Bexley fucking conversations about race, like the amount of times where like I have said in front of an audience of my racial peers, like, no, I know profiling's real, because 80% of the times that I've been pulled over in my life, I had a Black person in the car with me. Like, this is all very factual events. And guess what? I wasn't driving any different with them than I was with anybody else. Like, shit like that. And it is just astounding to me, like, people that are surprised to hear me say that. And I'm like,
it was either me or Carl.
Right. It was you and Carl, basically. Gordon at least twice, too. So, like...
Listen, they took me to jail. Fucking bullshit. I'm going down.
But, I mean, like, that kind of thing, like, again, though, it's always interesting to me being in those situations where I'm like... And I guess that means that I know at the end of the day, like, it is worthwhile to have those kinds of forums and those kind of trainings. Like, the fact that people are still surprised by some of this stuff is the problem, right? So I don't know, but at the same time,
hard because it just makes me racist against white people. I don't know. Like, I've gone out on a date with one white man. Have I told you that? Like, one white man. We went to dinner. Our second dinner was a Michelin rated restaurant, white truffle, he was a CEO of a venture capital company. And I'm thinking, ooh, okay, you're successful. You're pretty okay looking. And we are going to eat some good food. From the Carolinas. Well, if you work hard, you can do anything. And I'm like, yeah. And we were just talking about race and privilege. And I'm like, and you're also a Trump supporter. And I'm like, but do you think you as a white man that it means something different for you than for, right? And there was like no budge on that. And I'm like, okay, you don't believe in white privilege. That to me is
red flag, maybe.
Something like that. I think a bomb just went off or something. I better run. I ran real fast.
And here's one, and I've brought this up with I think Cliff offline before. We have a friend who's been on the show, Gordon, who has gone at me in some of those regards before. And the thing is I don't disagree with him. I'm like, yeah, I did have more opportunities because I was white. But if you think I didn't bust my ass to get there, like that's where those don't have to be mutually exclusive things.
Right.
Like I can acknowledge my privilege, but also acknowledge the fact that I worked fucking harder than anyone in my peer set to do what I've done. Like, there's a reason why I'm the youngest VP at what was previously a Fortune 500 company. There's a reason for that. That being said, I have friends that have gone through the exact same path I have, at least from a school education perspective.
Frozen? Nah, that's just me being hella ninja.
He's getting ready to tear me down, which is fine. But I can acknowledge that too. Like, it always trips me out, especially with, the other two out of our group of four, Shelby and Gordon in particular, and I love those guys, and they know I love them. But path-wise, like, we all went to private school. We all went to private school growing up. We all went to college. We're in very different places in our life. Do I think some of that is tied to race? Yes, I do. Do I think some of it is not tied to race, and it's just the way we have approached things and applied ourselves? There's probably some truth there, too.
No, you're definitely
it's not
correct.
A knock, and it's not to say that they want what I have. Like, based on my conversations with Gordon, like, Gordon loves his life. Great.
To the knob.
I don't think you can exclude me from that.
No, I agree. Like, we all went, like, we all had the same opportunity from a baseline perspective outside of our race.
Right.
And we all chose to approach it differently.
I think what's also interesting, and
I don't know about choose though, right? Because it's a very different acceptance as well. You know what I'm saying? More. Like, even though you are a part of it, you still have to move a certain way to be accepted.
No, completely agree with that. The place where I think I struggle the most is Morehouse. And we've known multiple people that have been through Morehouse. And where someone like Pete is at versus where someone like Gordon's at, like, those are two different things. And so that's where I'm like, there is a level of, like, how you chose to approach things involved there. It's not just race.
I mean, I think that's a different conversation. I think that's a better hat off air.
That's fine.
Better hat off air. Yeah, New York has an interesting, like, everybody, and I don't know if this is everywhere, but I say New York because it's, what I've known for almost 20 years. Where are you from? No, but where are you from? But where are your parents from? But where are your grandparents from? Right?
Well, that's because that's the place of opportunity. That's where everybody funneled to that came from.
Cliff, you like me, right? So everybody asks everyone.
But you speak Spanish. You can't really.
Actually, you can come off as racially ambiguous.
Right. You could fit it anywhere. You could be.
That's why I keep
German,
my mouth shut. So I used to ride the bus through, like, anybody who knows New York. So I lived, like, in Bushwick, almost in East New York. I rode the bus through East New York, Brownsville, which is the highest, like murder cap, to Flatbush, which is like the busiest drug precinct in all of Brooklyn. And that's like where I'm consulting now. But I would get on the bus. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm going to teach at the school. And okay, you're going to assume I'm Puerto Rican. Yep, I'm going to speak Spanish back to you and like do what I got to do and keep my head down and whatever.
I mean,
but you go to a place and it's like, oh, do you want to come here with my friends? Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone in this party's white, right? Like that's very weird for me. Like going to an all-white restaurant, like that's probably not good. Can we go somewhere else?
All they got salt.
I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how
and I become the ethnic one. I'm like, listen.
I counted all the black folks in here, and 4 out of 5 of them are serving. I don't know if I want to
They're what?
eat here. 4 out of 5 of them are serving. I don't know if I'm feeling this spot.
Yeah, like I guess here, yeah, you can go to the place where I listen. Like my whole, what's our group text? Power Posse. Everybody in it is Asian, but like Bengali, Indian, Chinese, and I look, and then it's me.
You
So
say
I'll get to talking.
historical Asian.
Say something about white people, and they all look at me, and I'm like, what? Why are you looking
Who's
at
white?
me?
Who's white?
Yeah, you are. That's you.
But I don't know. And then I'll be like, yeah, white people, I know, right?
Ashley
like,
and I have both been the tokens in our friend group for a long time.
But you know what? I'm glad that is the case, though, because it gives y'all the insight of us when we are or have to be the token in the situation where it's like,
yeah. But
again, you could be like, bitch, you crazy as fuck. Like, you don't even know shit about what's, but then that makes you look more tokenish. So you gotta approach it from a, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can't be like, oh, but my best friend who is black, right? Like I can't use my
my one black
shield,
friend,
right? Like, come on now. But I think that it's still like.
What's crazy is I think I can only name one white friend.
Oh, besides you, one other white friend with the last name Smith. Like you can't get whiter than that.
I don't know. It's a lot of Smiths.
There's some black
Smiths. It's a lot of blacksmiths. It's a lot of Smith slave owners.
Yeah.
A lot of
slave
Smith
owners
slaves.
named Smith. I don't know who that family was, but they was killing it back in the day. Let me tell you. The fuck.
They were busy. Hey Cliff, have you ever met my kitty cat? Look at him. Okay, but you're about to laugh. You have to look though, right? Because he's really happy. Do you see what he has on his face? Look at that.
Little diamond on the nose.
I mean, it does look like
it's
got
a penis. He's got a penis on his face.
No, it's a whole thing on his face. He getting teabagged. That's a teabag cat. Oh, yeah. Cat.
He has a whole white penis on his face. It's the only one I know anything about, but he's my baby.
It's the only white penis Ashley's ever touched. All right.
Hey, boo-boo.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
we killed Cliff.
Oh, shit.
Game.
Blouses in his bitch. Oh, man, that's funny.
He's crazy.
I'm done with life. I'm just done with it. Where were we at before?
I don't know. Where are we? What day is it? About the Bills.
Right. Listen, wrong day.
Wrong show. Sorry. We'll catch back up on that next Wednesday.
What's Wednesday? Hit the shower?
You know it.
I always just think of Mike that time he was in the shower. On the stage.
Oh,
It is close.
those memories lasted longer than the marriage did. So
Oh,
there you
shit.
go.
Oh,
They
Lord.
tend to, though. At the end of the day, let's be honest. Even if you stay with a motherfucker, I'm sure they.
Why are
Let's
your
keep
clothes
that
wet?
gangster.
Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Listen,
Accurate.
Damn.
Oh my gosh. You guys always make my cheeks hurt. Like I sit at home and laugh by myself normally because, I go to bed early. So I'll like turn this on in bed. I'll be looking crazy. I probably don't have clothes on. One week I was taking a bubble bath like a couple weeks ago and I was like, well, I want to listen. I want to laugh, but like my cheeks hurt by the end. Always.
listen.
That's what we're here for.
Y'all crack me up.
I crack myself up from time to
I know
time.
you
I'm telling
do.
you. And I don't know what that price would be. I don't think there is a price.
For what?
What would be the price for you to let just one motherfucker into your thoughts?
That's a very dangerous place.
You hear what I'm saying?
It would be 10 times. It would be 10 times my current salary. How about that?
Listen, I don't know if I got a price, baby. I don't know if I got a price because it's not the things that I say; it's the things that I don't say that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got a whole, and I'm pretty loose. I'm pretty loose cannon with it. And I have no problem being loose cannon. And I will be with whomever I'm around. And that's a buck. That's mother, grandmother, grandparents. This is just me, period. But the things that I keep in, listen, we were at Thanksgiving. Funniest shit I ever heard. Funniest shit I ever seen in my life. We're at Thanksgiving and you haven't been to my mom's new house. She got a condo off of
I got you.
By the high school.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So we at the Thanksgiving. The whole reason why I said that is we don't have enough room for everybody to sit at a table. The table is probably only big enough for 4 people.
I get that.
And it's probably about 10 of us at Thanksgiving. So we usually eat in the living room and watch football. Like we have trays and there's a couple tables out in the living room and we eat out there.
I'm going to come back to that as a concept here in a second, but continue.
Yeah, okay. So my grandma always sits in the same spot for some reason and it's by like the back door, like the sliding glass windows. I don't know what it's for, why she does it, but she always sits there, right? So my mom comes in and sets the tray in front of her and gives her plate, and she hops up real quick, like, nah, I can't sit right here. And she like, why can't you sit right here? She said, no, I don't sit with my back to windows. I don't sit. And she said, so of course, my thought is, smart as hell. Of course, you don't. Like stray bullets, ricochets, all that. But you got to watch out for, She says, why you don't sit by windows? She says, with a straight ass face, snipers. I lost it. I said, not a stray bullet. Not a straight. She says no. Straight bullets don't got no aim, but a sniper. I said, what the fuck you been doing back in the day? God damn! Listen,
she was a panther. She ain't ever told you.
I almost had to use my mom's bidet.
What is it? What is it with families that want to gather at the one person's house that's too small? Like, is there another option where there's a house that's big enough? I guess would be my question.
Maybe it's the womb.
Maybe. All I know is I love my stepdad, his family, all of them. Us doing family gatherings at places that are too small to hold all the people piss me off. Because
Right.
ain't nobody in that family small to begin with. So let's start there. 2, none of them have a place that can physically hold that much human. I always volunteer my place, and like very rarely does it end up here. I'm like, I've got 3 times as much room as anybody else. Like, please come fill up
Well,
my house.
your home ain't homey, motherfucker.
I guess not.
Get homier.
Nah, because I don't want it to be too inviting.
That's what I'm saying. Your cave is your cave.
That's true. Oh, goodness.
Unless you Rapunzel, then your palace is your palace.
There we go. Here I am.
I seem to remember a metaphor from Cliff about climbing mountains that I'll leave alone.
That still reigns true.
Are these ones that we can grab onto and then we can get up just fine? Or do we need a chisel for these?
Listen, nah.
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, I remember. Oh, God. Woo.
Oh shit.
Oh, my cheeks hurt. Chisels.
Nah, I ain't got shit.
Ain't never had that problem.
Shout out my nigga Corey Holcomb.
Shout out.
And Willow.
And Willow. Well done.
Ooh. Doctor don't gotta check this here.
I'm
You might
impressed.
gotta
That
check
was
this
well
here, I
done.
ain't gonna lie.
That was well done. All right. Anybody got anything else? We're at about. This is one of our longer episodes in the last 6 months. So.
Yeah, I was having a blast. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, maybe Ashley will
That means I
grab.
have to come back.
Maybe Ashley will grace us with her presence again, and we'll have an actual topic instead of just shooting the shit. Or we'll just shoot the shit again for 2
Yeah,
hours.
I was prepared. You know, Mike, I thought I was gonna have to answer questions, Cliff. I was so nervous.
I wasn't
I was
about to
like,
grill you.
y'all can't use my last name. People
Listen.
stalk me. And then I may try to plead the fifth, but I have a really honest face. So
Fifth.
I read your 10 questions for dating. What were those, Mike? You shared with me?
All the ones we made.
The ones we made on a show probably about
I
this
need
time
you to
last
send
year.
them to me actually, because
I
I
can
thought
do
I
that.
kept them somewhere, but
I mean,
don't
I
know
can
where.
run through them off the top of my head because I still use them. So
He's
Number
ready.
one.
He's ready for these.
number
I
one
was
is
like,
the.
what Ninja Turtle? I was like the purple one because purple's my favorite color.
Now,
Oh,
see, it's an
see, that's
archetype
the-
question. See, you're missing
I
the
would be
point.
like yellow. He's very yellow at this point.
So, question number 1 was pineapple on pizza, yay or nay, and that's just the toss up. That's the warm up. Question number 2 was which.
I want all the meat on my pizza.
Me too. Question 2 is what favorite type of beer? Not favorite beer, but favorite type of beer. Because we did another episode where we specifically talked about how different types of beer relate to sex acts. The one that always sticks in my mind is stouts are the anal of beer because not everybody likes them, but those that do know they're meant to be enjoyed slowly and surely. Number 3 was favorite Ninja Turtle. Number 4 was favorite condiment. Number 5, I have changed. Number 5, I've changed. I don't remember.
Condiment that's a good one though. I didn't think we was that genius.
We were,
Condiment's
we were.
a good one.
Well, do
But
you
like,
remember?
what kind of whipped
If she
cream?
say ketchup, I am there.
Well, and do you
Ketchup
remember?
is your favorite condiment?
Do you remember? Do you remember what my number 1
I
red
can go
flag
outside.
answer was from the whole questionnaire?
Barbecue sauce, ranch
No,
dressing.
It was
I
ketchup.
could go with all of them.
Ketchup and the fact if they put it on steak, because you know who else used to do
Yeah.
that?
It's a
Will
bad
you
steak.
stop it?
It's
Will
bad
you?
steak.
He will never stop it ever.
No,
He'll
that's a
never
bad
stop.
steak.
Fuck your count.
Question 5. I don't remember what ours used to be, Cliff. That may have been. I don't remember what question 5 used to be.
Are you replacing questions?
I replaced
They
one
your
question.
questions.
I
mean,
replaced
for
one
your
This
question.
has to be up
situation.
to a like a vote. This
Yeah.
has to be fully Approved.
Question 5 is now
you know white people redact and retract and
history is written by the victors, sir. Question 5 is now like, what's your favorite movie? I don't remember what it used to be.
thought it was. It might have. Well, I thought one of them was in it before. I thought that was in one of them before.
Maybe you might be right.
Like
I don't know the number, but yeah.
Question 6 is, what's your favorite conspiracy theory? No,
and I'm like, who the fuck has time for that?
But that was purely, I think. So question 6 used to be what does Machiavelli stand for? I didn't get good answers on that one, Cliff, so I had to change.
What does Machiavelli stand for? I know he wrote The Prince. That's a smart question. You're reading out the stupid ones?
Machiavelli. It was I Am Alive, Tupac.
Oh, see, and I was thinking like classic writer,
right?
Machiavelli's The Prince, and I'm like, are you trying to weed out the uneducated? What? I don't know what's happening right now.
Question 7 was favorite dream. Question 8 is
favorite dream,
or not favorite dream. What was the last dream you had?
Oh, y'all don't want to know.
Last dream you remember.
Last dream you remember. You're right.
Oh, I tried to take a nap today. And have you seen the show The Sinner?
No.
On Netflix? Okay.
Well, your show choice is a lot different, I'm sure, than our show choice.
It is. I mean, you guys are talking about Comic-Con, like Lord of the Rings.
I don't know nothing about that.
I don't know any of that.
I know little Lord
The Sinner is like twisted, psychological. He's an investigator, but they're like sick motherfuckers, right?
Ooh, I might want to see that.
Was playing in the background. Jessica Biel's in season 1.
I love Jessica Biel.
Yes, so watch it. It's good. But like season 3, I was laying here trying to take a nap, and I was like all up into my nap. And today I dreamt that I was driving, but I like sideswiped a car right here and I've never had an accident, but it woke me up. And The Sinner was playing in the background. I'm like, I had a fucking car accident in my dream. I'm not trying to live like that.
Well, that dreams don't necessarily mean that that's fruition, but maybe it is, and maybe you should be grateful for that side swipe and not a T-bone.
Accurate. I've been in a car accident on the highway, and it's never been my fault.
How many times have you been in an accident on the highway?
So
Lord, it's your fault.
Portugal.
It's your fault.
Amen.
That's your fault.
It's your fault for not driving defensively.
And in DC, the DC, what is it? The Washington, Baltimore part. Stop, go. This I don't know, 17-year-old kid driving a big ass old, like the Ford Expedition, plowed into 2 other cars, and I was the last one that they slid into me, and I fell to the left, but I saw it coming. And then in Portugal this summer, he got hit on the highway by a big ass those Mercedes Sprinter vans that are like utility vans.
Mm-hmm.
Hit us going.
That's the ones you gotta watch out for now. They got new shit now. Them New York kids that be searching for Pokemons. Better watch out for them sprinters too. I'm telling you.
Listen, it was like an accident between a guy from Ecuador. The person that hit us was Portuguese, but it was terrifying. We didn't spin out. We didn't hit any other cars. My friend was steady on the wheel, but her 1-year-old baby was in the backseat. It was.
Oh shit.
So listen, I don't do accidents.
I done been in a few too many to count.
No.
Yeah, I done been in a few too many to count. Not all me driving. I'm just
been involved, yeah.
But a good number of me driving. But still, again, not all. Some my fault, some not my fault.
I don't think I've been. I don't want to say this. I'm not going to put that into the universe. Never mind.
Nope, don't say it. That was question 7. Question 7. Question 8.
Question 8 is frisky. Yeah, you're feeling frisky. What are you wearing? Cheekies? Thong? Boy shorts? It used to be just the thong or boy shorts, but I added cheekies because it was the answer that got added the most.
What?
Yeah.
What is a cheeky?
I actually think that
Like, what is a cheeky?
That sounds like a racial slur.
probably. I think they're a
It's
little
I
more
don't think-
traditional.
go like mid cheek.
Yeah.
So you're like,
Oh no, I like
Yeah.
those. Well, I thought boy shorts did that.
Yeah,
no, boy shorts have a more cut that's more horizontal. Cheekies are more cut up.
Mm. Well, I like cheeky boy shorts. Give me some cheeky blinders.
That's what you're wearing when you're feeling frisky, or you're wearing the cocksock thong.
Oh no, me no cocksock thongs. Although they may be. Nah, I couldn't imagine anything being in my ass crack being comfortable, but
What?
No comments.
Uh,
Question 9.
I'm all b-boy boxer briefs, baby. I might got a couple
have
pairs
to
of
connect-
boxers I
Yeah.
wear
You
when
need-
I'm out of when it's laundry
You
day.
need the boxer briefs with the pouch. That's what it is. And
Yeah,
then
you got yeah.
question 9
to get
is
the answer
Jason
to that
Momoa.
question.
What was that?
I said to get the answer to that question from me, you have to connect with me on Hinge or Tinder. Otherwise,
Oh, shit.
I know the answer to that question.
Check
Moving
that
on.
Tinder account.
I'm like, y'all probably both know the answer to that question because y'all also know when my bra was on the roof. chocolate pudding.
Question 9 was Jason Momoa or The Rock. That used to be the only question I used to ask.
Jason Momoa is like a lot more raunchy.
Oh yeah, no. That was actually the theory at the time, was that Jason Momoa, if you ask a woman that question and she says Jason Momoa, she's 10
But I'm
times
like,
more
can we
likely
get
to be
some
willing to fuck.
diversity there? You got any more choices?
That's not the point. The point was those two in particular, similar look, similar feel. However,
Similar
a woman chooses Jason Momoa, she's ready to fuck. A woman chooses The Rock, she wants the full like dating experience. That's the difference between those two. And then question 10 is Netflix or nightclub?
That came from something. I can't remember what that came from.
It came
though.
from me. That was my question.
Oh, okay. But no, we talked about it before it became that question.
We did.
I don't know what it was about, but continue.
Does anybody in Columbus answer nightclub to that question? Like, how many people
No,
have answered
usually
nightclub to that?
usually it's not nightclub, so the way that I frame up the question's a little different. Like the intent is still nightclub or Netflix, but it's like, do you go out or stay in? And so it's, long week, your obligations are taken care of, especially since I'm usually talking to other single parents most of the time. Like,
Oh,
you
Lord.
don't have your kids. Are you staying home or are you going out?
Well, if you have, no, I think everybody's staying in and watching Netflix.
Not the case in more than I would have expected.
Really?
I mean, but I
That
feel
ain't,
like
I'd love
that
to
ain't
go out.
my,
I
that
love to-
ain't, exactly.
I love to go out. I love to go dancing. I want to spin around. I want to drink margarita. I want to woo. Like,
Again, this
but-
comes back to you not having kids.
but that's where you're like, you have kids. All your responsibilities are taken care of. I'm like, yeah, Netflix, thank you.
Right.
Even if I don't, like, I don't even, no. Friday night, Netflix always. There is no answer choice B or C. Netflix, Netflix, Netflix.
I'm with that.
No doubt.
But Saturday, so you could take a nap. Because that 5 a.m. wake up is rough. Because then 9 p.m., I'm knocked out. So I have to be able to take a nap. And if it's my birthday, nap, some tequila, 4 a.m. tacos, and I'm good. Then I'm ready to come home. I had a good birthday. I had my tequila. I was dancing. I ate my tacos, and I have to close my eyes before the sun comes up.
Them
If
kids
I
wore
think
you
it's not-
down. Them kids wore you down, baby. Them kids wore you down.
Listen.
Mm.
Oh, Lord. Y'all have me up way past my bedtime. It is way past 9 p.m.
Hey, I tried to shut this down 20 minutes ago. I think you were the one that kept it going.
We can turn off. Isn't he even watching this thing? I don't know how to work this thing. Just
I
say
tell
bye.
you what, we have more concurrent viewers this week than we have in a long time. So
You're welcome.
Ashley's the draw for the show, so we appreciate that.
You're probably like, who is this fool?
We might need an Angela Yee.
Ashley,
Listen, I could probably make a little business. I could sell stories about the two of y'all.
Nah,
ain't nobody
well,
need
I
all
tell
that.
them shit.
Actually, we both tell a lot of them.
I only got no problem making a fool of myself, baby.
All right. Anybody got anything else? We ready to wrap this up?
Love everybody.
Love everybody.
Love all y'all.
All right, good deal. Do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell an enemy. Tell him to troll.
Tell him to troll in his bitch.
And with all that, we out. Peace out, fools.